Hello everyone, good evening. So we'll be starting the class for today. Just give me a second. Alright, so now we are currently live streaming in Facebook and YouTube. Alright, so like what those sentence below say, that if you have any questions regarding maths, you can always email to help@maxperteducation.com. Alright, so I will either reply your email, or I will make a video, or I will do it on a piece of paper, then I take a picture and then I will upload to Facebook, and then I will let you know. Alright, so today's topic is Form 4 Chapter 2, Quadratic Function. Alright, so for those of you who just came in, so please share this to your friends, okay, so that you all can learn the basic for these quadratic functions. Alright, so what is quadratic functions? So basically, quadratic function means that ax squared plus bx plus c. So where a, b, c are constants, a does not equal to 0. Okay, if a equals to 0, the whole term over here will be equal to 0. Alright, so a, b, c are constant. What are constants? Constants are like numbers. It can be fractions, it can be whole number, it can be decimal, it can be negative numbers. Right? And then the highest power of the variables quadratic function equations is 2. Okay, what does this mean? This means that variables, it means algebra. Okay, so x power, the maximum power for x will be 2. Okay, it cannot be 3, cannot be 4, cannot be 5. It has to be 2, x squared. Okay, quadratic function at most you have 2 roots. Okay, you can have 1 root, you can have 2 roots. You cannot have more than 2 roots because the x power is only 2. That means you have only maximum 2 roots. So how do we solve quadratic equations? Okay, basically quadratic equation we can solve it using 3 methods. First one, factorizations. Okay, I believe most of you are quite familiar with factorizations. And then the second method is used for, we call it completing square. So completing square, we use it for the maximum or minimum point for the quadratic equations. And the last one will be the formula method. Okay, sorry, this is not completing square. This is formula method, okay? So it will be x equals to negative p plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Alright? So where all these p, h, q, k, a, p, q, a, b, c, all these are constant, meaning say that they are numbers. Alright, so by the way, if you have any questions, or I'm going too fast, or you do not understand, you can always type in the chat box, okay? I'll be checking the Facebook chat and the YouTube chat quite often. Alright, let me see. Okay, so far no questions. Okay, so let's continue. So solve these quadratic equations using factorizations, completing square, and formula method. Alright, so we have 2 quadratic equations over here. So we need to solve it using factorizations, completing square, or by formula method. Okay, either can all this formula, all this method, you will get the same answer. So let's prove it. So okay, pen. So let's do the first one. We are using factorizations. 6x squared minus 7x minus 3 equals to 0. So factorization will be, you put in 2 bracket, and then 6x squared. So which one can I use? 6x squared. So for 6x squared, basically I will use 2x multiply 3x, or x multiply 6x. So in this case, I will use 3x and 2x. And then what about negative 3? Negative 3, I will use negative 3 multiply 1, or 3 multiply negative 1. So in this case, I will use this, negative 3. Alright, so when you expand it, you will still get back the same answer. So my x will be equal to negative 1 over 3, or x will be equal to 3 over 2. So this is factorizations. So let me change the color and try and use completing square method. So completing square, I'll use blue color. So for completing square, again the same, 6x squared minus 7x minus 3 equals to 0. So completing square, the coefficients of the x squared must be 1. So but the coefficient over here is 6. So we have to factor the 6 out. So when we factor the 6 out, I will get x squared minus 7 over 6, not 6 over 7. Give me a second, eraser. Okay, so 7 out of 6x minus 3 out of 6 equals to 0. Okay, we did not change anything. We just take out the 6. Okay, we factor the 6 out and this is what we get. So for completing square, we need to do this. 2 multiply what to give you 7 out of 6x. It is 7 out of 12x. Okay, and then plus 7 out of 12, not 16, 12. Okay, 7 out of 12. You square the whole thing, then you minus 7 out of 12, you square the whole thing. Why do I need to do this? Plus 7 out of 12 square minus 7 out of 12 square. By doing this, we are not changing the equations, okay? Because we cannot simply add in extra stuff, extra numbers into the questions. So since we are adding one more, we need to minus out so that they both can cancel off and we didn't change anything. So the 3 out of 6, it will become 1 over 2, right? Remember to put your bracket equals to 0, right? So for these 3 terms, okay, this dot here means multiply, okay? So these 3, I can form okay, hold on. Okay, these 3, I can form this. X minus, okay, the plus minus sign is always follow this one. 7 out of 12 squared. And then we already grouped these together, right? Then balance 1, it will be, the balance one will be this. Negatives, okay, minus 7 over 12 square. 7 over 12 square, I will get 49 minus 49 over 144. 12 square is 144, but you need to multiply 6. Okay, take a look at here. I already taken out. Okay, there's no more bracket over here. So once I take out, that means 144 and 6. I need to simplify. So 144, I simplify, divide by 6, I'll get 24. And then what about here? Negative 1 over 2. I need to multiply 6. Then I'll get 6 over 2. 6 over 2 means negative 3 equals to 0. Alright, so now you can group these two together. So you get 6x minus 7 out of 12 square equals to 49, negative 49 over 24, negative 49 over 24 minus 3. You get negative 121 over 24. When you move it to another side, it will become positive. It will be 121 over 24. Alright, and then we need to find the value of x, isn't it? So now can you solve this? It will become x minus 7 out of 12 square equals to, okay, hold on. Can you see this? Okay, I think you can see this. Okay, so 6 move it to another side. It becomes divide. So 121 over 24 divided by 6, you get 121 over 144. Okay, and okay, since I do not have space, I continue on top over here. So x minus 7 out of 12 square equals to 121 over 144. So x minus 7 out of 12, okay, remove the square. That means we square root the whole thing on the right hand side. So I'll get plus minus. Remember, this is very important. Plus minus. Why it is plus minus? Because like 2. 2 times 2, 2 square, you get 4. Negative 2 square, negative 2, you square it. That means negative 2 times negative 2, you will still get your 4. So that's why you get plus minus. So square root 121, it will be 11. Square root 144 will be 12. So you have two answers. X is equal to 11 out of 12 plus 7 out of 12. Or x equals to negative 11 out of 12 plus 7 out of 12. So this will be 18 out of 12. And you simplify it, you get 3 out of 12. Or 3 out of 2. And then this one, negative 11 plus 7. You get negative 3 out of 12, which is negative 1 over 3. Do you notice that? They are the same, isn't it? And let me use the pointer. Okay, x equals to negative 1 over 3. Negative 1 over 3 over here. And then x equals to 3 over 2. And this is 3 over 2. Okay, basically they have the same answer. So next, let's take a look at the biformula method. Okay, formula method, I will use green color. Okay, formula method, minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac, isn't it? So this will be x equals to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac. Then you square the whole thing over here. Over 2a. So you just substitute the value of a, b, and c. A is 6. B is negative 7. C is negative 3. So x will be equal to negative b. Negative 7, it will be positive 7. Plus minus negative 7 squared, 49. Then minus 4, a will be 6, c will be negative 3. Then you square root the whole thing. 2a, 2 multiply 6, you get 12. So 49, okay, minus 4 times 6 times negative 3, what do you get? You get 1 to 1. Sorry, you get positive, let me check first. You get positive 72. 49 plus 72, you get 1 to 1. So 7 plus minus square root 1 to 1 out of 12. So square root of 1 to 1 will be 7 plus minus 11 out of 12. Okay, so x can be equal to 7 plus 11 out of 12, or x equals to 7 minus 11 out of 12. 7 plus 11, 18 out of 12, which is 3 out of 2. 7 minus 11, you get negative 3 out of 12, which is negative 1/3. Okay, from here, as you can see, all the answer, negative 1 over 3, negative 1 over 3, and negative 1 over 3 over here. 3 over 2, 3 over 2, and 3 over 2. All these three methods will give you the same answer if you do it correctly. Okay? So, let me check for the chat. Okay, so no questions. YouTube, no questions. Alright, So, okay, next we do the second questions. Okay, so straight away do it from here, factorizations. Okay, so this will be 3x, this will be x. So 16. Okay, let me check. 16 will be 4, 4, 8, 2. Okay, I'll be using 8, 2. Negative 8 plus 2. Okay, you will still get back the same answer. And then x will be equal to 8 out of 3. X equals to negative 2. Okay? So next we will be using the, okay, let's use the formula method over here. Then we use the completing square. So formula method, x equals to negative b, so it's 2, plus minus b squared, 4, plus 4ac. 2a, 2 times 3. So I'll get, this is not 12, this should be 2. Okay, so 2 plus minus 4 times 3, 12. 12, okay, sorry, this is not plus, this is minus. Okay, b squared minus 4ac. Okay, luckily I found this. Minus. So 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 16, negative 16, I get negative 192. Negative, negative become plus. 192 plus 4, 196. Divided by 6. So square root of 196. You get 14. So meaning say that 2 plus minus 14 out of 6. So x can be equal to 2 plus 14 out of 6, which is 16 out of 6. If you simplify it by divide by 2, you get 8 out of 3. Do you see? We can still get the 8 out of 3. So then the next one will be x equals to 2 minus 14 out of 6, which is negative 12 out of 6, which is negative 2. Right? So completing square. Change it to red color. Okay. So completing square. So again, we need to make sure the coefficients of the x squared is 1. So we factor the 3 out. 3x squared minus 2 out of 3x minus 16 out of 3 equals to 0. Okay, and then 3x squared. We need to form the b square, isn't it? The a square is here. Minus 2 times 2 out of 6x. Okay, plus 2 out of 6 is 1/3, right? 1/3 square minus 1/3 square. And then minus 16 out of 3, 0. Okay, then the first 3 terms, you can group them together, you get x minus 1/3 square. Alright, these three you need to group together. So let me erase the line. And then negative 1/3 square, you get 1 over 9. 1 over 9 you need to times 3. So it will become 1/3 as well. So this one, 16 out of 3 multiplied by 3, you get minus 16 equals to 0. So 3x minus 1/3 square. So 1/3, this one. Negative 1/3 minus 16. Negative 1/3 minus 16, you get 49 out of 3. Okay, so x minus 1/3 square is equal to 49 out of 3. Move it to, this is negative 49 out of 3. You move it to another side. You move it to another side, then you will get positive 49 out of 3. Then you divide by 3, you get 49 out of 9. Okay, so x minus 1/3, you will get square root of 49 out of 9, 7 out of 3. Plus minus, do not forget your plus minus. So x will be equal to 7 out of 3 plus 1/3. You get 8 out of 3. X will be equal to negative 7 out of 3 plus 1/3. You get negative 6 out of 3, which is negative 2. Right? So all these three methods, you will get the same answer. Okay, so let me check for the chat. Okay, so nothing from Facebook. Okay, for YouTube. Okay, happy birthday, sir. Okay, so today is not my birthday. Today is, what is the date today? Today is 17th of June, isn't it? Let me check. 17th of June. 17th of June is not my birthday. Okay, so it's still early. Maybe okay. So next. Okay, before that, do you all know how to use your calculator to check your answer? Okay, some students, they may not know how to use calculator to check their answer. So let me show you this. Okay, so let's try this calculator. Alright, so I know that most of you are using this model of calculator, or maybe some of you are using this one, same as mine. Okay, too bad I didn't find this one the software for this. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Basically, they are almost similar. Okay, they are not 100% the same, they are almost similar. So you press the mode. After you press the mode, can you see all this? Okay, if you are using the same model as mine, you need to press the mode 1, 2, 3. You press 3 times, you will see this equation EQN number 5. You press number 5. Then you have all these choices. Okay, for this one, for this calculator, you will press 1 because EQN is at number 1. Then they will ask you how many unknowns, 2 or 3, or what is the degree. So you press the next button, you press the degree, which is 2 degree. You press 2 degree. Then in this case, it is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So you need to put this 3. And then we need to key in the A. A is what? Okay, let's take the second question. The A is 3. Press 3 equal. B is negative 2. Okay, it is negative 2. It is not 2. Be careful with that. You need to press negative 2. Then you press equal. And then the C will be negative 16. Negative 16. So once you key in, you press the equal sign again. Now you get one of the solution for x is 8 out of 3, which is the same as what we get, isn't it? And then the second one, x equals to negative 2. Yes, we get it negative 2 as well. So same goes to this calculator. It's almost the same, okay? Just the screen is slightly different, okay? All right, you can always check the first question that we did just now. So, okay, again, let's try. First one, 6 equal. Second one, B is -7. -7. C will be -3. So your answer will be 3 out of 2 and -1/3. Okay, which is the same as what we get just now, isn't it? Right? The reason why I'm teaching you using this calculator is just that I want you to know how to check your answer. Alright, so maybe in the exam, when you are doing the factorization that is very big number, the number is very big, so it takes a lot of time. So it is better for you to use the calculator. Okay, so let's come back. Oh, it's already 7:30. Okay, never mind. Let's continue. Okay, roots. What is the meaning of roots? Okay, the one that we got just now here, all these like 8 out of 3, -2, these are the roots for the quadratic equations, meaning say that the solutions. Okay, if this one we read alpha, if alpha and beta are the roots of quadratic equations, that means x equals to alpha, x equals to beta. Okay, same like the one that we did just now. Okay, x equals to alpha, x equals to beta. So that means we multiply it. So this is what we'll get. When you expand the two bracket over here, we'll get x squared minus bracket alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equals to 0. So alpha plus beta, that's why we say it the sum of root. Sum mean plus. Alpha beta, alpha multiply beta. So product of root. So the general form for quadratic equations is a squared plus b squared, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And then, as you can see over here, the coefficient of the x squared here is 1. So we need to divide, we need to remove the coefficient of x squared. So meaning say that the whole equation we divide by x. So that's why we get x plus b over ax. Sorry, this is x squared, this is not x. X squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals to 0. So now we can compare with the equation that we get from here. So sum of root is negative. Okay, there's a negative over here. So negative sum of roots is equal to b over a. So sum of root is equal to negative b over a. Then product of root is c over a. And basically they are plus and plus. And this is how you get your sum of root and product of root. Okay, so find the sum and product of root for this one. So this is very straightforward. So sum of root is equal to negative b over a. Negative b is 5 over a. Oh, sorry, not a, over 3. Okay, over 3. So product of root. Roots will be c over a. C in this case is negative 9. Negative 9 over 3, which is negative 3. So that's the answer. Alright, so for those of you who are just joining, alright, so please share this to your friends, and if you have any questions regarding maths, okay, you can always email to help@maxperteducation.com, which you can see at the below over here. Okay, there's a line say if you have maths questions, email to help@maxperteducation.com. Okay, and then remember to share this to your friends so that everyone can benefit from it. And I know that this year SBM will be on. The Ministry of Education already announced that it will be on next year, March. Okay, but the date is not confirmed, but it is around March. Okay, so you have roughly around half a year left. No, you have 9 months left. Okay, it is not too late for you to start your maths revisions for both Form 4 and Form 5. And I know that last year it has been a tough year. Okay, most of you have class online, and then this year as well. Okay, So it is not easy for you to focus. It is not easy for you to learn. Okay, that's why I'm giving this free class. Right? So share this out. So the more share, the more engagement I get, okay, I will have more frequent class so that you all can benefit from it. I need to get all the feedback from all of you. Okay, if the feedback is good, I will have motivation to continue to give more free class. Okay, so let's continue. So if alpha, beta are the roots for quadratic equations of this one, form the quadratic equations that has this as root. Okay, so how do we form this? First, 3x squared minus 2x minus 4 equals to 0. We need to find out what is the sum of root and what is the product of root for this one. Okay, so here 3x squared minus 2x minus 4 equals to 0. The sum of root alpha plus beta is equals to negative b over a. Negative 2, so it's 2/3. Product of root alpha beta is negative 4 over 3. So what is the question asking for? The question is asking for form the quadratic equations that has 2 over alpha and 2 over beta as the roots. So how do we do this? So the new roots is 2 over alpha plus 2 over beta. This is the sum of new roots, okay? Sum of new roots. Okay, so how we can see this as a fraction. So how do we add up the fractions? So it will be 2 beta over alpha beta plus 2 alpha over alpha beta, isn't it? So we group them together, we get 2 alpha plus beta over alpha beta. Right? We factor the 2 out. Then alpha plus beta, we get 2/3. Alpha beta, negative 4 out of 3. So for the numerator, we multiply, we get 4 out of 3 over negative 4 out of 3. So you get negative 1. So the new sum of root, the sum of new root is negative 1. Okay, the product of new roots. So 2 over alpha, 2 over beta. You multiply together, you get 4 over alpha beta. So alpha beta is negative 4 out of 3. So 4 over negative 4 out of 3. You can rewrite into 4 divide negative 4 out of 3. So which is 4 multiply negative 3 out of 4. Okay, you can do it manually like what I did just now, or you can just use your calculator. Okay, so it will be negative 3. So now we have the sum of root, we have the product of root. So how do we form the new quadratic equations for this? Okay, basically you have two methods. Okay, now I'm showing you, because of time issue, I'm showing you only one method. So x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots, okay, is equal to 0. So sum of root is the new root, negative 1. So it will be x squared, negative 1 become positive 1x, which is x, plus product of root. The product of root is negative 3, so it's minus 3. So this is how you solve this kind of questions. Okay, find the original roots for the equations, for the quadratic equation that is given. Then the new roots, you find the sum of new roots and the product of new roots. Then you can generate your quadratic equations. Okay, so now time to check comment. Okay, no comment. All right. So YouTube. Okay. So next, quadratic inequalities. Inequalities, it means you have four symbols. Greater than, smaller than, greater or equals to, smaller or equals to. Okay? So here, greater than, greater than. Okay, let me use the pointer. Greater than, greater or equals to, smaller than, smaller or equals to. So how do we solve quadratic inequalities? Okay, so when the coefficient of x squared, meaning in this case is the a, when it is positive number, that means greater than 0. So when it is greater than 0, how does the graph looks like? The graph looks like this. When it is smaller than 0, greater than 0. A is greater than 0, you look like this. When a is smaller than 0, your graph it looks like this. So how do you remember? Okay. So most of the students that will have, they will confuse. Okay. They will forget. So my way of how to remember this is, if you have more than 0, that means it is positive, right? So imagine if you have more money, how would you feel? If you have more money, if you have unlimited money, more money, you feel happy, isn't it? So when you feel happy, this is how your emoji look like, isn't it? So this is the shape of your mouth. So this is the minimum. So if you have less money or you are negative, when you have your money is negative, that means you are owing people money. When you are owing people money, so how do you feel? You feel sad. Definitely you will not feel happy, isn't it? So if you are sad, this is your emoji. So maximum. Okay, this is how I remember. Okay, this apply everywhere, even though in your dy dx. Okay, second order differentiations to find maximum minimum point, you will still use this. Okay, later I have one slide. It is for this. Okay. So now we already know what kind of graph, either it is a maximum or minimum graph, and then we need to determine. Okay, take a look at here. X minus a multiply x minus b greater than 0. Greater than 0, that means we put it on a, let me use a pointer. Okay, when it is greater than 0, that means everything above. When it is smaller than 0, in this case, everything below. Okay, if this is a quadratic equations, that means it is equal to 0, x equals to a, x equals to b, isn't it? But this is inequalities. Alright, inequalities, when it is greater than 0, you take everything above the straight line. A and B is the intersection point at the x-axis. So everything above it, so here, meaning say that it is less than A, greater than B. And then for this, it is less than 0. So that means put it below of this line. So that means it is between A and B. That means less than B, greater than A. This apply to the another symbol, which is greater or equals to, smaller or equals to. Alright, so let's take a look at the example. Okay, I have two questions over here. What time is it now? Okay, so we don't have much time left. So I'll do just one, okay? So over here, x squared minus 11x plus 24 less than 0. So what is the coefficient of x squared? It's 1. 1 is greater than 0, meaning say that is this. It is a minimum point. So I know what does the graph looks like. So we factorize this. So x and x, 24. I'll be using 8 and 3. Negative, negative. Okay, then we draw this. 3 and 8. So less than 0, below. So meaning say that x is less than 8, greater than 3. Alright, so I think I do the second question as well. Let me change the color. Alright, so for this, 2x squared plus 3x minus 35 greater or equals to 0. Alright, and then what is the coefficient of x squared? 2. 2 is a positive number. Again, this one. So it is a minimum. So we need to factorize this. Okay, most of the time we are using factorizations. Okay, completing square we are finding maximum or minimum. And then by formula method, okay, the formula method is we use it when we cannot factorize. Alright. So for this one, it will be 2x x negative 7 plus 5. Okay, or of course you can use your calculator. Okay, and then this one. So this will be negative 5. This will be 7 out of 2. So more than 0, more than or equal to 0, that means on top. These two parts. Meaning say that it will be x less than negative 5 or x greater than 7 out of 2. Okay? So, any questions? Okay, so no questions. So let's continue. Nature of roots. Alright, because of time consuming, I'll be going very fast. If you have any questions, you can email to me or put it inside in the chat box. Okay? So email will be help@maxperteducation.com. Alright, and for those of you who join in now, just join in, please share it out to your friend, and then the more you share, I mean, it will, how to say that? The more you share, I will have more motivations to have more free class, okay? To have it more frequently. So, nature of roots. So it will be using b squared minus 4ac. So does this look familiar to you? Okay, this b squared minus 4ac is actually come for the formula method, right? So if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, that means you have two intersection points at x-axis. When it is equals to 0, you have only 1 point. Okay, only 1 point is touching the x-axis. When it is less than 0, that means it does not meet at x-axis. Okay, it does not intersect at the x-axis. So let's do the example. Okay, let me see. Okay, almost done. Alright, so find the range of value for m if x squared plus mx equals to 3 minus 2m does not have real root. So does not have real root, what do you think? Is it greater than 0? Is it equal to 0? Or is it less than 0? Does not have real roots. Meaning say that it is less than 0. Okay? Does not meet at x. If you do not meet at x-axis, that means it does not have roots. It does not have solutions. So if it does not have solutions, less than 0. So let's see. Okay, x squared plus mx equals to 3 minus 2m. So we rearrange it, we get x squared plus mx plus 2m minus 3 equals to 0. So this is the C. My A is 1, B is m, C is 2m minus 3. So since it does not have real root, that means b squared minus 4ac less than 0. B squared will be m squared minus 4, a will be 1, c will be 2m minus 3. They are less than 0. M squared, 4 times 2, negative 8m plus 12 less than 0. Less than 0, then we factorize. So 6 and 2, negative. So what is the coefficients of x squared? 1. And then it is positive 1, more than 0. So more than 0, you feel happy. So it is negative. Okay, it is a minimum. So the graph looks like this. 2 and 6. Less than 0, below here. So that means m less than 6, greater than 2. And then the second question, the quadratic equations, this has 2 real and distinct roots. Okay, 2 real and distinct roots. Find the range value of p. So 2 real and distinct roots. Which one do you think it is? Greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0? Okay, greater equals to 0, it means it touched only 1 point. But here you have 2 real and distinct roots. Does not mean that x-axis, that means no solutions. So definitely it's not 0 equals to 0, it is not less than 0, it is greater than 0. Okay, so since it is greater than 0, let me change the color. So x plus 2, 3px minus 4. So we expand it, okay, and rearrange it. X squared plus 2x minus 3px plus 4 equals to 0. So x squared plus 2 minus 3p x plus 4. Okay, so now my b is 2 minus 3p. A will be 1. C will be positive 4. So b squared minus 4ac greater than 0. So 2 minus 3p squared minus 4ac. So when we expand the square over here, okay, I will do it very fast mentally. Okay, if you cannot do it mentally, do a few more steps, okay? So you get 4 plus 9p squared minus 12p minus 16 greater than 0. Sorry, this is not equal to 0, this is greater than 0. So rearrange it, 9p squared minus 12p minus 12 greater than 0. Okay, so we factor the 3 out to make it smaller. 3p squared minus 4p minus 3 greater than 0. Okay, I will write right on top here, then we can factorize it. Greater than 0. So 3p and p. So let's see, what can we use? 2 and negative 2. 2 and 4. Oh, okay. No wonder. It is not 3. It is, hold on a second. This one, it should be 4. No wonder it seems so weird. It should be 4. So plus 2 minus 2. So the curve, this one is positive. So like this. So your graph will be, so this will be 2. This will be negative 2 over 3. So greater than 0 on top. So meaning say that x is less than 2 over 3, negative 2 over 3, or x is greater than 2. Right? So let me check the chat. Okay, so no questions. Let's move on. Alright, for those of you who just joined in, okay, I'll be giving free class from time to time. Okay, depends on the feedback from you all. Okay, if you have more share, more engagements, okay, I will have more frequent free class. And then if you have any questions regarding maths, okay, feel free to email to help@maxperteducations.com. Okay, the email is below here. Alright, feel free to share this with a friend, okay? I mean, to motivate me to give more free class, more frequent free class. Okay, quadratic functions. Alright, like what I say just now, the minimum, the sad face, the sad emoji, maximum, the happy. Okay, I think, okay, there's something wrong with, okay, I did it wrongly for the slide. This one, when you have more, that means what? This one and, okay, this one is wrong. It should be this. Okay? Okay, I put it the other way around, okay? So if A is greater than 0, that means you have more. When you have more, you're happy. When you feel happy, this is your emoji, and look at the mouth. So that's why it is a minimum. And if you have less, okay, if you have less, you feel sad. So this is your emoji. So look at the mouth, then it will become a maximum. Okay, always remember that A cannot equal to 0. If A equals to 0, that means you do not have x squared. Okay, because x squared multiplies 0, you still get your 0. And then always remember, for quadratic functions, the maximum power is only square, which is 2. Okay, find the maximum or minimum point for this. Okay, so maximum or minimum, let's decide. A. Is this the coefficient of x squared? Is it a positive or a negative? It is a positive, isn't it? So positive, that means you have more. When you have more, you feel happy. So this is the minimum. Okay? So if this is a minimum, so how do we find minimum? Okay, we have few methods. Okay, you can use completing square. Okay, basically we are using completing square for this method. Okay, but you can still use factorizations. You can also use formula method to find the maximum or minimum point. Okay, so since they are only asking for maximum minimum point, we just use this completing square. Okay, plus 10 equals to 0. So completing square, factor the 2 out. Make sure the coefficient of x squared is 1. So it will be plus 7 out of 2x plus 10 out of 2. Okay, we are not changing anything. So we just factor the 2 out. So 2x squared plus 2 times 7 out of 4x plus 7 out of 4 square minus 7 out of 4 square plus 10 out of 2. Okay, then x plus 7 out of 4 square minus 7 out of 4 square. 7 square, 49. 4 square, 16. 16 and the 2. We need to simplify. It will be 8 minus, plus 10 equals to 0. Okay, so 2x plus 7 out of 4 square. So 49 out of 8 plus 10. You get plus 31 out of 8. So we can stop at here. Okay, we do not need to find the x is what. Okay, why? Because in this format, we already know the minimum point is this one. This is the minimum point. Okay? So when this whole term, x plus 7 out of 4, becomes 0, that means x must be equal to negative 7 out of 4. When this whole term becomes 0, y is equal to this. Okay, that means it is a minimum point at this. Minimum, we already showed that just now. So any questions? Let me check the chat. Okay, no questions. What time is it now? Okay, almost 8. I have how many slides left? Okay. So now, how do we sketch the graph? Okay, first we need to find out whether the graph is a minimum or maximum so that you know whether it is a curve down or curve up. Okay, we need to find out whether it is a maximum or minimum. How do we find that? By looking at the coefficients of x squared, which means the a. If a is greater than 0, that means this one, happy face, happy emoji, minimum. If a is less than 0, that means you have less. That means you are sad. When when you are sad, the sad emoji will be the mouth, will be maximum. Okay, and then determine whether the graph is a U or N, and then we need to find point at the curve that cut x-axis or y-axis. So let's take a look at this. This one. So basically, we have few methods. Okay, so I will only show you one method because of time constraint. So 2x, this one. So fx 2x squared plus 7x plus 5. Okay, let's determine whether this is a maximum or minimum point. Look at the coefficient of x squared. Positive. That means happy, minimum. So if this is a minimum, so let's use the completing square. Okay, let's use the completing square method to find out the minimum point. X squared plus 7 out of 2x plus 5 out of 2. So x squared plus 2 multiply 7 out of 4x plus 7 out of 4 square minus 7 out of 4 square plus 5 out of 2 equal to 0. Okay, sorry, not equal. Okay, so it will be 2x plus 7 out of 4 square, and then 7 square, 49. 4 square, 16. 16 divided by 2, which is 8, plus 5 equals to 0. Okay, so 2x plus 7 out of 4 square. So this will be, where is it? Negative 49 over 8 plus 5. Negative 49 over 8 plus 5. Negative 9 over 8. Okay, so meaning say that the minimum point is at negative 7 out of 4 and negative 9 out of 8. Now we have the minimum point. Then what's next? We need to find out where is the intersection point at x-axis and y-axis. Where is it? So at x-axis, y equals to 0, isn't it? So that means 2x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals to 0. So now you can use factorizations. So you'll be 2x plus 5 x plus 1. So x will be equal to negative 5 over 2, or x equals to negative 1. So this means that the curve intersect x-axis at these 2 points. Alright, and then we need to find the y part. Okay, the y-axis. At y-axis, x equals to 0, isn't it? So when x equals to 0, y equals to what? You substitute 0. Let me use the pointer. You substitute the 0 over here into the equation over here. 0 plus 0 plus 5. So y will be equals to 5. Okay? Then you can start to sketch your graph. Y, x. So in minimum point at negative, negative at this one here. So it will be something like this. So let's say this is 5. This is negative 1. This is negative 5 over 2. And this point will be negative 7 out of 4, negative 9 out of 8. So this is your graph. Right? So another method without using completing square. Okay, I know that some students, it is not that familiar with completing square. So if the question did not mention completing square, so you can choose to use other method to look for the minimum or maximum point. Okay, we can use the factorization method. Okay, so the method that I mentioned just now, the second method, this is the first method where you need to use completing square and you need to use factorizations. Okay, the second method will be, we do not use completing square, we only use factorizations, which is this part. Okay, once we factorize out, we need to find the midpoint between these two intersections. Okay, which two intersections? Let me point it out. Okay, these two intersection point at the x-axis. Okay, we need to find the midpoint of this one, these two. The midpoint of this is the minimum point. Okay, this is for your extra knowledge. Okay, let's see. So the midpoint between negative 5 over 2 and negative 1 will be negative 5 over 2 minus 1 over 2. You get what? Negative 7 over 2 will be negative 7 over 2 over 2, which is negative 7 out of 4. Do you notice that it is the same as this one? So once we got this, I can say that when x equals to negative 7 out of 4, y equals to what? I substitute this negative 7 out of 4, this one, into these equations. Okay, that means here, I'll get 2 times 7 out of 4 square, negative, plus 7 multiply negative 7 out of 4 plus 5. In the end, you get negative 9 out of 8. Okay, this is what you will get, the same answer, by avoiding completing square. But still, you need to learn completing square. Okay, so let me see the chat. Okay, so no questions. Alright, so I think that's all for today. Okay, for those of you who just joined, okay, you can watch back the replay. Okay, replay for this class. And then remember, share it out for your friends so that everyone can benefit from it. It is still not too late for you to start your revisions. Okay, you have 9 months because you are going to have your SPM test next year, March. Okay, you have roughly 9 months left. Okay, more than enough for you to do all the past year, revision for Form 4 and Form 5. Okay, remember to share this out. Okay, because the more you share, it will motivate me more. Okay, when you motivate me more, I will have more frequent class. Okay, longer class, frequent class, more exercise, more details class, PowerPoint slide. Alright, so that's all for today. I'll see you next time. And then, by the way, remember to like and follow our Facebook and YouTube channel. Okay, I will update the next class there. Bye bye.